Hello, my name is Michael. I'm here to discuss a little bit about the three different acoustic guitars that I have. The Taylor CE 314 and the Taylor Big Baby, and also this little Lunar Safari Muse. Now this one is the latest one I got, mainly for grandkids, but kind of talk about that a little bit later. First I want to warn everybody that this is not a technical type of a presentation. I'm not really that good, really doing something new. There's a lot of other sites that really tell a lot about these different specific guitars. They can play a lot better than I. Like I said, I am relatively new. I've had guitar for years though. When I was little, my parents, my father was in the Air Force, so we were going all over the world. We'd go to one little place and come back to my mother's hometown in Connecticut. So we'd go to like California, Connecticut, Newfoundland, Connecticut, Maine, Connecticut, Washington, Connecticut, and all during that time as I was growing up. I probably wanted a guitar. So I'm sure I looked in a lot of different catalogs. We were in a lot of places around at that time. So my parents finally did get one for Christmas for me, and I'm sure it was quite a sacrifice for them. They didn't make a lot of money, but that's what parents do. I'm sure most parents try to do what they can for their children, and I hope I did that too for my daughter. And speaking of my daughter, it's basically one of the reasons I started in here is because of one of her children, one of my granddaughters. She was a few years ago. She got a little play guitar, and we got it for her one time when we were going to one little store. And it was the kind that you'll press some buttons and it does certain things, and you press other buttons and it does other things. So thought nothing of it. She goes up into her little room, and about 15-20 minutes later she comes down and she plays this song perfectly. And I couldn't quite believe it. So I tried to impress her, so I go into my closet where my old guitar that my parents got was stored. So I dug it out of the closet and go and show it to her. Of course she's not impressed at all. Well, that's how little kids are. So I decided at that time, maybe if I started to play a little bit, I'd impress her a little bit more. So I did. I went to a lot of different places to see what was available, different types of teachers in different types of places. And I was kind of fortunate that I went one place and started taking some lessons. And I showed them my guitar, and they was all kind of impressed with that because it is rather old. Like I said, I was about 10 or 12 at the time, and the guitar is much better shape than I am. I can't say that as a lot better looking at that time, but I certainly had a lot more hair. So I go into these guitar places, and I finally picked on this one, and they assigned a very good instructor for it, one who's super knowledgeable, excellent guitarist. I had a lot of experience in touring in different bands, some very good bands. But we may not have been the best fit. I can't say I'm the best student. I'd be sitting in the aisles waiting for it and waiting for my lessons in the guitar store, and all these little kids coming in and out. I felt a little bit embarrassed, but it's something I wanted to do. So I'd go in, and every week I'd take a lesson, and the lessons were pretty good. But I'd get flustered more than once, not because of my instructor's teaching, but because just how I am. When I get a little bit pressured, sometimes I do get flustered. Especially when he took out that pesky little metronome. Oh, that would drive me crazy. No matter what speed it was on, I couldn't quite do it right. And my instructor, like I said, was very, very good. But again, I'm sure I taxed him to the limits of endurance. There were times when I'd be playing whatever I did, and he'd be holding his head, and I felt so bad for him. And so I'd get so that I'd play something, mess up, and then I'd get him talking about something else. And I'm sure he didn't mind, but it was my money paying for it, so it was good for him. But eventually I learned that I wasn't progressing as how I wanted to be. He definitely showed me how to improve my notes reading, but again, it wasn't quite as good as I wanted to be. So I saw a little ad for adult education class, and I was able to go to that, and that was very good. I started, this was an acoustic class, but I started with an electric guitar. So I'd go in there with my electric guitar and a little portable amp, and I'd see all these different acoustics. I couldn't believe how good they are. So I decided, after several weeks of that, I decided to go get an acoustic guitar. And that kind of swayed me to my favorites. So at the time, I went to a pawn shop and found this nice little Ibanez. And it was good. I thought it was good anyway. And after a long time, I was talking to the instructor, and I kind of mentioned how, I said, wow, I'm thinking this guitar is pretty good. It has good tone and projection and everything. And the way he answered, or basically didn't answer, I said to myself, well, maybe it's not as good, quite as good as I thought it might be. So what I did is I then went searching through pawn shops again in different places, and I eventually found my big Taylor, big baby Taylor there, and it's actually pretty good. It sounds very good. It has a spruce top, mahogany sides. It's a 2002, made in USA. So that was one of the things that kind of attracted to me. And again, going through the different pawn shops, it was nice. So I'll bring that to the group lessons and the adult education, progressing a little bit better. I'm not quite as good as I hope I can be, but it's getting better. And my daughter's never seen me play. It was actually about a year or more through my lessons that I even decided to tell her that I was taking a lesson. So I think she was a little bit shocked at that. But again, I mentioned that I got this one at a pawn shop, and it was very nice. I got my Ibanez originally in a pawn shop, and I take it to a little dealer, and he's able to kind of work his magic on it and get it working good. Then I was looking at this Taylor. I'd go to all sorts of different stores, different guitar places, play all sorts of different models. Everything I've read and heard about is like, go out there and go practice, or not practice, but go and try the different ones, see what you like best. And I did. I went to all sorts of different stores. And I played the minimum stuff that I know, and I kind of acting a little cocky. So I was in one store, and I was playing Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd. And again, I mentioned I'm not that great at it, but it's just do the normal little rhythm. The different chords, C, D, A, M, G, whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm done with that, and I hear the amazing riff. And I look over at this little young guy, about 10 or 12. Blew me away. Couldn't quite, it was an eye-opener, if nothing else. And it got me just realize that how many people are out there doing this thing and how young they are. And quite embarrassed me too. But it was good. It was very good. And I'm working on that little riff and getting a little better at it, but definitely not as good as he are. So after several different places, I did decide to get this and explore it a little bit. Again, I'm not that good, but it was a good event for me. Time we had our 40th wedding anniversary, my birthday, and Christmas. So I decided to splurge and get that rather nice, really nice one. But then I mentioned my granddaughters. I have a couple other granddaughters. One other granddaughter who seems to like guitars a little bit more. At least when I'm playing a little bit in front of her, she'll come and try to strum it, and so seems to be kind of interested. And also I have a little grandson who kind of likes to dance a little bit when we're playing the guitar, and he comes over and strums a little too. So I wanted to get something that I could use for them, or they can kind of use with their little hands and everything. So I decided to search for something small, and that's why I kind of got this. Again, I was looking at a couple different guitar stores, different pawn shops. I couldn't find anything, so I went on Craigslist, and I was able to find this relatively good shape. The strings are still good. I'd like to put a little bit different strings on here, but as anyone knows me, I'm kind of a procrastinator, and I haven't quite yet. It's only been 3 months, well, 4 months though. So I'm still getting used to it. So I got these three guitars. I still have my old electric that I've had for many years. that my parents got. But I also have another uh, electric guitar, a nice Ibanez that I practice with day in and night. That's the main thing. I don't like using the acoustics when I practice because I usually am sitting on a couch with my wife and we just kind of watching TV as I'm doing that. Yep, all you kind of technical people shouldn't be doing that, I know, but at least get my hands on the guitar and doing some things and not really drowning out the TV. So, I also had another electric Epiphone Les Paul. It was very, very good. A lot heavier than my Ibanez, but it was very good. And I kind of use that as a trade-in for my getting this Taylor CE that I have. So that helped quite a bit too. But again, I'm holding out to wait for my grandkids to kind of learn if they want to. Definitely don't want to push them into. My granddaughter that started me onto this is actually doing the xylophone thing, trying to get into the drums, and that may be her niche, if that's what she wants. Again, I've waited many years before I started. I'm kicking myself for doing that, for waiting, because it is very nice. It's trying to listen to music or play music, and eventually playing something that people can actually almost make it sound like a song is very good. And the picks I do use, I like this particular one. It has I'm sure you can't see it, but it has some texture on it. Makes it easier to grasp. A lot of times when I'm strumming, the guitar pick seems to kind of rotate a little bit and throws me way off. And I try to I have a little collection of picks. I go on little different business trips, and when I do go, I go to different stores and get some pick that they may have with their name on it or some other thing. I was fortunate enough to go to overseas, actually to China, and I went to a couple different stores in that place and got a couple little picks there. When I was there, they offered me a guitar to play, just to strum a little bit. And I have to tell you that I was super embarrassed on that. I got the guitar, did the friendly little bow, started to play a chord or two, and really messed up. I couldn't do anything. I turned beet red and handed it to the person back in my frustrated English. Said, "Thank you anyway." Then turned around and left really quick. Hopefully I didn't do any kind of international incident with that. And I'm sure that they were laughing as I left. But again, it was all in fun for me. So again, what I have are 3 guitars here, just trying to learn a little bit, get better. I'd like to show you some of the different things that we have, but I think I'm probably running out of time here. But again, these are 3 fantastic guitars. If you're interested in anything, there's different sites, I'm sure on YouTube and different places that will really present their ability and how they do play. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy this great spring day. At least it's spring here. Thank you. Goodbye.